Even still to this day, I look at social media as if it's Google, and I will research something on social media before I even go to a dinner. I want to see what the restaurant looks like, what the lay of the land is there. And I think that I kind of use that approach now with students. I know students, they want to see the dorms. They want to see what our campus looks like, what the events are happening at the school. So for us to be able to say all of this or do all of this and promote all of this is it's kind of good for them and for us.
Hey, welcome to the Higher Ed Storytelling University podcast, a show where we bring together Marcom leaders from both inside and outside higher ed to give you fresh perspectives on successful organic content creation and strategy in higher education. My name is John Azzoni. I'm the founder at Unveiled, a video production company working specifically with colleges on their storytelling and commercial video content. You can learn more about our work at unveiled.tv. That's UNVEILD. And if creating content that resonates emotionally with your audience is a priority for you, then you need to be subscribed to the Higher Ed Storytellers Digest. It's my weekly newsletter where we cover a lot of ground about content creation and strategy in higher ed. So sign up for that for free at unveiled.tv/newsletter. All right, let's get on with the show. Do you want to read the intro for the podcast?
Sure.
Okay, this is Ellie Azzoni, 10 years old.
Well, hey guys, today we're talking to Christine Albano, who is the Associate Director of Marketing at Felician University, where she leads all social media and content creation initiatives. Her work focuses on elevating students' voices, storytelling, and building authentic digital communities that showcase campus life and academic excellence.
Nailed it. Ellie Azzoni, everybody. Round of applause. Well, I've been a fan of Felician's social media for a while now. If you've attended any of my, webinars or speaking engagements, you might have seen an example from Felician make its way in there in our What's Working in Higher Ed video report, which you can get at unveiled.tv/higher ed video. We have, I think, 2 examples from Felician in there. And I like to use them because they're, a smaller school, but they have just such a great presence on social and they really understand the platforms and what students want to see. So Christine she heads up social media there. And today we're talking all about how she uses student content creators to help her with the work, how she tracks trends with her team, what challenges, she's had to overcome. And then we'll talk about some specific examples of their videos, and including one anti-melt summer giveaway campaign that I think is really smart and I was really impressed about. So here's my chat with Christine Albano. Okay, well, hey, Christine, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I've followed Felician on socials for, a year or 2 now. And I've always been super impressed just like with, the relevance of stuff that you post and like how consistent you guys are and how much it seems like you understand what people want to see. And as a result, I've seen you guys get some good engagement, and I've used you guys as examples in talks and webinars that I've done. So I was excited to get you on the show. I don't know why I haven't had you on sooner.
I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start off on a little tangent. What's something that you've been kind of nerding out about lately? It could be higher ed related, doesn't have to be work related.
It's not really work related, but I am obsessed with pumpkin, like everything pumpkin. But my sister just got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. So everything is low carb, low sugar diet. And my whole family, I'm sure you know because you're Italian too, but everybody, it's been a huge adjustment for my whole entire family. So right now I'm nerding out about pumpkin pancakes. My family does Sunday brunch every single week. So pumpkin pancakes is like the new recipe on the list because we're going to flip regular flour for almond flour. And I think that's where my storytelling comes into play because Sunday brunch is a big storytelling day for my whole entire family. So
yeah, you guys get together like every Sunday, big family thing.
Yes, big family. My dad cooks a huge brunch. So I'm like, on the menu this week, it's going to be pumpkin pancakes. All
right.
Yeah.
Cool. I had a stint of doing the low sugar thing. It is very hard. Like super hard. I love carbs. I love candy. That's like my thing is sweets and carbs. So it's hard to substitute stuff like that. It just never quite tastes the same, but I feel like pumpkin, you'd get a good leg up. I feel like it already has kind of like
Yeah.
a natural sweetness to it.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, enough about pumpkins. So you started at Felician as a student worker and eventually you moved into your current role. So tell me, like, what did that progression teach you about higher ed social media, having that sort of inside experience?
I think as a student, I had kind of an insight and a different approach because even still to this day, I look at social media as if it's Google and I will research something on social media before I even go to a dinner. I want to see what the restaurant looks like, what the lay
Mm,
of the land is there. And I think that I kind of use that approach now with students. I know students, they want to see the dorms, they want to see what our campus looks like, what the events are happening at the school. So for us to be able to say all of this or do all of this and promote all of this is it's kind of good for them and for us.
yeah, I'm the same way. And I love that you said that because I've read articles about like the new search is like social media search. And
Yeah.
I never really thought much of it until I noticed myself doing that too. Like I'm very big on like, I want to know what I'm getting into before I
Yeah.
engage a person because I don't want to
Yeah.
walk into like a store or something and look dumb. So
Yes.
I took over like the pool chemical responsibilities from my wife this past summer. She donated those to me. So I had to
You gotta
navigate
look up a tutorial. You gotta look
yeah,
up a tutorial. Yep,
you got to look up
exactly.
a tutorial. And then if you go into the pool store, it's like chemicals everywhere. And you don't want to be
Yeah.
the guy that just knows nothing. so,
Yes.
so I had to like go in there with some knowledge. And I even looked up like, what is the Leslie's pool store? What does it look like? Where do you go in the store
Yeah.
to get, to get your pool water tested and stuff? So I at least kind of like knew somewhat like I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm the same way. I totally research, if I was looking at colleges, I'd be all over, their TikTok and Instagram and stuff. That would be like job number one.
Right. And that's exactly what I did. I mean, I was big on Instagram. I loved Instagram, but then TikTok came into play and that's why hashtags are so important too, because you literally click on a hashtag and it takes you to all of the world of whatever that hashtag is.
Yeah. Does Felician have their own hashtag?
Yeah, we use Felician University, hashtag Felician.
All right. Jump on that. So
Yeah.
give us a lay of the land of, what platforms Felician's active on and like how your team is structured.
So Felician lives like everywhere the students are. So we're on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, X, YouTube, LinkedIn, everything. And yeah, I mean, I have two students who work with me. I have a student worker who is Stephanie, and I have a graduate assistant who is Alexa, and they're both great. So I kind of handle more of the content mindset, and they kind of handle more of like the nitty gritty, getting the clips, bringing them back to me,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll put it together. I'll schedule it out. So this way they're learning how I do stuff. So eventually they can do it themselves and schedule it themselves. And yeah, basically they're learning how I do it that way.
That's great. I mean, you have a couple
Yeah.
of assistants. I'm impressed and also a little overwhelmed that you're that you're on so many platforms because I'm just like I can't keep up. I can't keep up with anything more than like LinkedIn and maybe YouTube.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Do you have priority platforms where you're like I'm going to post this to Instagram and then I'm going to repurpose
Yes.
to Twitter and TikTok and
I guess it would depend. So anything like undergrad, I would post to Instagram, Facebook. Mainly Facebook is for like the parents to be able to see it of the students. And I guess like the difference is you have to know like the age groups that you're targeting and who you want to see the content that you're posting. So if it was for a graduate open house, it would go strictly to LinkedIn and also Instagram. And I guess it would depend too on like the time frame. So like the time frame is really important because if we're on crunch, it's going to go on everything. Like a crunch time, it's going to go on everything.
yeah.
So it's nice too.
Yeah, for sure. So Facebook, clearly parents, that makes perfect sense. Do you find any difference in demographic or engagement patterns between, let's say, short form videos on Instagram versus TikTok?
Yes, Instagram typically sometimes does better because we have a higher following on Instagram.
Okay. So just that's where, and I think I read a statistic that's like 80% of prospective students go to Instagram to learn
Yeah.
about a college. So that tracks. So we'll have a little Q&A at the end, but I wanted to bring one of the questions up to the top because I felt like it was more relevant to ask it here. So this question is from Abigail Letson, who also works for Felician University.
Yeah. Hey, Abby.
Abby, I hope I pronounced your last name wrong. I mean, right.
No.
I hope I pronounced it wrong. No. Abby, I hope I pronounced your last name right. So her question was, what's your favorite part of the creative process?
Seeing it all come together at the end. That is like the best, especially when it does good. That's like even better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it constantly refreshing the same post and like, okay,
I'm like sending it to everyone. I'm like, watch this, watch this, watch this.
Yeah, seeing it come together is great. I think that's like it's the work that goes in, for me, it's like the work that goes into it, but then it's like this extended dopamine hit of like constantly refreshing.
Yes.
And like see, if someone comments, then it's like, oh great.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so so yeah, that's fun.
It's like the best feeling ever is when someone comments and you're like, wait, stop everything. I got comment back to them right now.
I was so excited. Like, I'm excited when I get comments on YouTube because I feel like those are harder to come by. And I posted a YouTube short from our podcast it was about AI and stuff. And so people have all kinds of opinions about AI. And I got a couple like haters in the comments. I was like so excited. I was like, controversy, yes.
I always hate the haters. I always hate them, but maybe I'm sensitive.
Yeah. I usually am pretty sensitive too, but at least I was kind of like, okay, I'm ruffling some feathers here. We're really making progress. Okay, so because you guys have some specific, at least TikToks and Instagram Reels and things that I've seen that you might consider like your greatest hits or something, but give us kind of a lay of the land of like, what are some examples of pieces of content that have worked really well for you guys?
So our 2 nursing videos that were to promote the ELF grant, they both got 100,000 views each. One was simply just a student talking to a mannequin, and the mannequin was talking back saying like, my arm hurts. And it's completely controlled by the professor. So the professor's kind of guiding the conversation and guiding the student, and the student interacts, and it's literally lifelike learning. So that was really cool to be able to see. And then the other video that we did was just a collage of videos of anatomage table, lifelike suture arms, literally arms that you could practice doing stitches on, which was sick. And then there was these VR goggles where you could see holographics of the patients in the nursing, in the room that they have at Felician. And the holographics are like throwing up. And you're like, wait, what is going on here? This is a thing. So it's really cool to promote our like real world experience through videos. And then another video that did really well, just recently reached 100,000, was Christopher Gagliardi. He was talking about how he wants to change the world through our journalism program at Felician, and he is also on the autistic spectrum.
Yeah, that was a great one. I've used two of those 3 examples, and one of my main things that I advise colleges on, I think my whole like sort of ethos is trying to get colleges away from like the cliches and into just like more risk taking, more innovative stuff, more giving people what they want to see, not what leadership thinks people want to see. So anyways, one of the things I say often is just point the camera at cool stuff. And and I think I used the second nursing one that you talked about with the holograph and all that stuff. And that's a great example of, and I liked in the comments, people are like, oh, I think we didn't have this stuff when I was in nursing school.
Yeah.
It's like the new, I mean, if you're into nursing now, it's like, if you're thinking about getting into nursing, that's a really great video to be like, this is what the experience looks like. And these are the tools I get to use. Yeah.
Made me want to go to nursing school. I was like, wow, you guys get to practice with this stuff? This is so cool.
Yeah. My daughter had a procedure she had to get put under for it, and she just like a scope or whatever, but she had to get the IV put in her the other day, and the nurse couldn't do find the vein.
Oh, no.
And then they had to bring someone else over to do it. That person did it right, and then we heard that the first nurse, she went to the spot next to the patient next door to us, and we heard her screw up their vein as well.
Oh no. Oh no. I would be kicking and screaming. I hate needles. Hate needles.
I'm like, she needs to practice on the fake arm, I think.
Yes, definitely. She has to come to Felician and practice on the suture arms. Definitely.
Here's one hill I will die on. Making one-off videos whenever your team or some other department decides they need one is the most expensive and wasteful way to do video marketing for your college. What you need instead is a system that provides you a steady stream of video content all year long. And that is what our video storytelling subscriptions are all about. Get a year's worth of videos that are primed for distribution across awareness, consideration, and yield for one price. Learn more at unveiled.tv. Unveiled is spelled Unveiled. All right, let's get back to the show. Okay, so tell us your workflow a bit for spotting trends, because I know that you guys have kind of a daily ritual with your student workers. And this is a question I've gotten from people in webinars and stuff, is like, how do I stay on top of trends? It's especially relevant. It's especially a question that comes from people that aren't naturally on TikTok, that aren't laying in bed scrolling TikTok and taking notes of what they see. But you guys do have kind of a ritual that you bring into the office that helps you spot trends. So what tell me about that?
Yeah, the first thing that we do is we get coffee. Me and my student workers are big coffee people. So we will head over to Starbucks. We'll get a cup of coffee. We'll come back. We'll sit down. Unfortunately, trends aren't 9 to 5. So you kind of have to be on top of them all of the time. So sometimes I'll be laying at home in bed and I will be scrolling through the Felician University TikTok For You page, and I will send it to my student workers, but they know, don't answer me until tomorrow. If you don't want to, it's fine. It's just when you're on, you have to be on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's hard because social media is 24/7, but it's not 24/7. So spotting the trends is something that you have to do, and you have to create it in your own way. So that's when we'll get a coffee, we'll come back to the office, we'll sit down, we'll go over everything that we have sent each other, and then we will flock to go do the trends in our own Felician way.
And I appreciate that you're like, don't respond to this until 9 o'clock.
Yeah, literally. Don't even look at it until tomorrow, and then we'll talk about it, because I'll have ideas flowing. As soon as I'm watching the video, I'm like, wait, this can go here. Felician can use this. We can put this on the screen. It's just I will see a video and I'll think of Felician and I'll think of it in my head before it's even produced.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that strategy is kind of twofold. I think that whether someone naturally scrolls social media on their own time and looks for trends, or whether someone doesn't do that but is better off setting aside some time to every day or every week to scroll intentionally and look for trends. I think those are two great ways to do it, and it sounds like you guys do both.
Yeah. Well, sometimes too, I'll have them sit and I'll say, like, sit for like an hour, half hour, an hour, and just look and see what you can find. Because then once you spot something, then you spark a whole idea, and then you're literally good to go. And then we have content, it's kind of both ways, but you definitely have to put the research in and do the work and look for it yourself and think about it and come up with ideas and sit with each other and brainstorm. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really big on blocking time for one task. I think when we go, I need to stay up on the trends, that's so abstract, and that could account for hundreds of hours of time, if you don't actually, structure it out. So like one of the things I'm real big on is I have this like business coach, and we set goals every week. And one of the formats that I really like is like, okay, one of my goals this week is I'm going to spend an hour reimagining my newsletter or reimagining the podcast and figuring out how I want to improve it. So it's really just, it's open-ended, but it's like within this hour block of time, that's what I'm going to be thinking about. And for me and with the way that my brain works, I know it's like, it's on my calendar. I know it's going to get done that week. So, and I don't really necessarily know what I'm going to come up with in that hour, but at least I know it's there. and I'm not overwhelmed by like, oh my gosh, when am I going to be on top of the trends? Because like, when are you ever done with that? You know,
Never.
it's just
Never.
ongoing.
Yeah.
So at least you're like, okay, in 60 minutes, I'll be done for this week.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally.
Yeah. Okay. So a lot of higher brands, they're trying to build these student content teams, and this can be a really messy process. So I know you said you got Stephanie and Alexa. How have you equipped them or previous student workers who have helped you to succeed? Have there been any like times when anyone's gone off the rails or something like that, and something you had to kind of pivot or course correct or damage control or anything like that?
Yes. So sometimes I'll send students, like our student workers, to events on campus that are happening, and just to get either B-roll or just take pictures or that type of thing. And a lot of the times, the professor or whoever, the staff member who is running the event, will confuse them with students who are attending the event. So that has become an issue quite a lot. And there are times where my student workers need to be on their phone or on the camera, and the professors will confuse them and be like, wait, what's going on here? Like, why are you on your phone? And they're like, wait, like, what are you talking about? Like, so what we're going to be doing going forward is getting Felician t-shirts that say Felician marketing on them. So no miscommunication and no misjudgment, and they could do their job that they love. And yeah, and there's no confusion.
That's a great idea. I'm big
Yeah.
on t-shirts. I used to do all the photography for my city. I live in a suburb of Detroit called Troy. So the city of Troy would send me to like all these different events and stuff to take pictures, but they're always involved kids. And I always felt so awkward because like I never had a t-shirt, and I always was just like, they would send me to like the public pool to like take pictures of families and stuff. And I'm like, this is so awkward. I ended up just that was the reason why I stopped doing it. Cause I just felt I felt so uncomfortable.
Yeah. That's another huge issue too. Like at Felician is a lot of the time we have to have like parents' written consent for if there is a kid on campus and they want to be on a picture, like for any of the bigger events that we do. So that can be a challenge too sometimes, because we're like, wait, I don't know who you are, and I don't think you can be on camera.
Yeah, but it's almost like you need like a sign when you send your student workers to these events. It's like I'm actually
send them with
working
paperwork
right
now. Yeah.
So is there anything like that you've put in place to kind of like help equip them for success? Or are you mainly getting people who are already kind of on the track of like, being a content creator? They've already done it. Maybe they've got their own channels that they've been creating content on. Like, where do you find people? And then how do you kind of get them up to speed on the Felician way to do things?
Yeah. So I actually didn't learn this till after, but normally when I am looking for a student, or if a student comes to me and they say, we want to work for your department, it's like a test right away. Like, I'm sending you out with the work phone, and I want to see what you can come up with and how passionate you are about seeing it all the way through. With Alexa, I didn't know this until recently, he actually has a separate Instagram account, separate social media, I guess, because he's on Instagram and TikTok, where he runs a Harry Potter fan page. And he has like 30,000 followers. I was like, look at this guy. I didn't even know that you had this. So it was really
Harry
cool.
Potter fan page.
Yes. He loves Harry Potter. Loves. So yeah.
That's awesome.
It was really cool. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I think the most challenging thing is seeing the videos and then seeing if they're on like branding or not. That is like what's hard, because when the students come, some of them are like, can we do this trend, or can we post this picture? And it's like, wait, we can't post everything because we have like certain guidelines that we have to follow. Stuff can't be posted that has curse words in it, or, that type of thing.
Yeah. How much freedom do you guys have with leadership above you? Is there anything like approvals you have to get, or is it generally like they've approved the guardrails and then you just operate within that?
Yes, exactly. They give me a lot of creative freedom, which I'm very appreciative of, because it's hard trying to get a lot of things approved. I mean, social media isn't just my sole focus. So I know like when I have to do like a flyer or some type of marketing collateral and I have to get it approved and then they say, wait, we don't want it like that. We want it like this. I'm glad that I have social media where it's kind of like my little baby and I like take care of it and I do all the things that I need to. But having like, I guess I know like the approval process and not having to do that with social media is so much better than having that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Plus, I feel like I've been just in this role for so long that they do trust me with the social media, which is also a huge plus, and I'm so appreciative of that. So that's good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So a lot of times with small content teams, you have to like the managers have to be the content creators, and then you have to sort of like, get over some fears. And I know that when we spoke in our pre-interview, you had told me you had an experience where you had to like get over this, like someone like post a picture of you. Tell me that story, because I think other
Yes.
people can relate to that.
Yeah. So I was a student worker and I was just doing a daily video with the mascot. It was actually this helicopter trend I'll never forget. The video is still posted to this day. And I was blonde and the helicopter trend, it was like you're standing like this and you're just spinning in a circle and the video is sped up. I was doing that trend with the mascot. Somebody took a video of me doing it. It's just like, oh no. I didn't even see them doing it until later. And I saw the video had been posted on a Snapchat story with the caption, "What is this?" And I was like, oh no. Turns out, I was a little embarrassed, but I had to completely strip myself of the fear of what other people thought of me. And taking that, I kind of turned it into a career now. So, yeah.
Yeah, when I see people in public making TikToks and stuff, I always do feel like it's funny to watch them.
Yes.
And I'm especially if you're
Yes.
like at the airport or something and they're doing a dance and it's like, what?
Yeah.
Oh man.
You're like,
how do
wait
they
a
have...
second. There's a time and a place. There's a time and a place for this.
Yeah. But then I'm also like, kudos to them, because I am so self-conscious in public.
Yes.
When I record anything, any content for YouTube or whatever outside of this podcast, like no one can be home in my house, because
Yeah.
I don't even like anyone maybe listening to me from 2 rooms away.
Yeah.
But I do applaud people that will like get out there and like even do a dance or something like that.
Yeah.
We were at Cedar Point with our family a few weeks ago, and I walked by and these like 3 girls had their phone set up and they were doing this TikTok dance. And then I came back like half an hour later and they were still there trying to get the right take of this dance. And I'm like, oh my God, like I would have been like, get this done. Like five,
Yes.
you have 5 seconds of me dancing in public and then we're going to turn the camera off.
Yes. And then we're done.
Yeah. My wife is one of my anniversary presents to her every year, as I let the waiter take a picture of us at the table.
Oh no.
I don't know why I just I'm like so uncomfortable by like being like the center of attention for
Like,
a moment.
You get one shot and make it good.
Yeah.
Make it good.
Smile, get
Yeah.
everything right, check your teeth, all this stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. So you led a anti-melt summer giveaway campaign that got a bunch of page views. Walk us through that, because a lot of people think that, okay, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, Facebook, whatever, and this is all very top of funnel, stuff, and we're trying to build awareness. But like, I like that you guys were actually using social for something further down the funnel, where you're trying to get, admitted students to actually show up. So talk about what that campaign looked like.
So a staff member had came to me with an idea to reduce summer melt. And basically the idea wasn't really like, I didn't like it. To be honest, I really didn't like it. So I had sent them an email and I said, why don't we take this approach? They gave me a $1,500 budget. And I was like, all right, we're going to do a giveaway a week for 6 weeks straight. And they're gradually going to get bigger for the students. So the first giveaway was a merch bundle. It was like a sweatshirt, like a Stanley mug with the Felician logo on it, and maybe a t-shirt, and I don't know, I think like croc gibbets. I can't really remember off the top of my head.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, yeah. And then that post actually got like 30,000 views. And there were, obviously, you had to have rules in order to get into the giveaway. So some of the rules were like, why do you want this giveaway? Like this post, share this post to your story. And yeah, from there it got bigger. There were a dorm bundle, which was actually probably my favorite one because it was so creative that we put together like a mattress topper, a shower caddy, a sick kit, which was probably my favorite thing this far because we do have a lot of people that come from different areas of the country and the world. So having like a sick kit and feeling like close to home was very important. Then we did like a DoorDash gift card, an Uber gift card, an Amazon gift card. And the Amazon gift card was kind of cool because we had just gotten Amazon lockers like that day on campus. So I was like, we're going to use that. And we're going to have like a double whammy. We're going to promote both. And
Oh, that's
then,
cool.
yeah. So then the last two giveaways were two $500 gift cards each to the American Dream Mall, which was nice because the American Dream Mall is literally in our backyard and the students could take a 5-minute Uber ride to the American Dream. So someone from Student Affairs actually came to me and they said, we want to donate $500 to this giveaway. And I was like, oh, okay, perfect. So I was like, that's going to make the students happy. Our number is going to go up. Everyone's happy. And then, yeah, so it was a really cool campaign. It actually managed to do 1.2 million views across 2 months, which was absolutely insane. That was like the biggest numbers yet for me on Instagram. And yeah.
That's amazing. And I think, people might wonder, okay, so how much did that decrease melt? And that's one of those things that's like really hard to judge. And that's where I say like, okay, the win is, did you get people engaged and did you keep people engaged? Like that for me is like, you could measure how much melt declined, but that would take some extra steps and surveys and things like that. But I like that you developed a system to keep people engaged. So it's not like, so gradually the prize is getting bigger. One of the things that I really love about Mr. Beast videos is that, Beast. I mean, throughout a whole half-hour episode, the stakes just keep getting higher and higher and higher, and you can't stop watching. It's like, and he's always teasing the next thing, and the next thing's always going to cost $3 million more than the previous thing that he did.
I know. He has me literally sitting on the edge of my seat every time I watch his videos. I'm like, wow, how did you outdo the last one?
Yeah. So I think I applaud you for that. I wouldn't, I don't know if I would have thought to have those gradually get bigger. I might have been like, all right, let's do one giveaway, see how it goes. Okay, that went okay. All right, on to the next thing.
No, it definitely kept students excited because they were looking forward to like, oh, what's going to be the next week's prize? And I'm going to win it. There were students who were DMing the account like, I hope you know I'm winning this week. And I was like, we'll see about it. I don't know.
Yeah. That's great.
You gotta decide. Yeah.
Because you can't, I mean, we help colleges with videos sometimes on anti-melt campaigns, and it's usually like in emails. We're making a video to plug into an email, and it's like, it's so hard to get anyone to engage. Like that's a win right there, that anyone would just DM you. I mean, that's saying a lot, that like someone cared enough to actually engage a person over the thing that you're posting.
Another thing that helps with engagement is posting the post to your story and then having like the question sticker and having the students write like different things. Like basically the question will be like, how are you guys liking this week's giveaway? Oh, I love it. I am going to win this week and I'm going to have that $500 giveaway today in my hand. And you're like, wait a second. I didn't even pick the winner yet.
That's great. Yeah, the questions thing is great. I actually really enjoy watching people's questions, stories, or whatever. Just like asking, I don't know. I'm like, I don't even know this person, but sure, I'll watch random facts about you.
Yeah.
So how did you ensure that only actual Felician students that were part of the anti-melt, demographic for you guys, how did you ensure that only they won the giveaways?
Manually. I went through every single comment and I made sure that they were a Felician student, whether I looked them up or I looked in their bio and I was like, do they have Felician in their bio? So then after that, we put them into like a random generator. Sorry, I can't talk. We put them into a random, we put them into a random generator and let the wheel spin. And that's how we picked them.
Cool. I like that. Yeah. So sometimes we do have to do some manual work, social media is not all just, pushing buttons and automations.
Yeah.
Okay. And I want to switch gears because you guys made a commercial for Open House and you guys used a GoPro. And I just wanted to hear about that campaign because it was a really interesting video. And I wanted to hear the behind the scenes for making that.
Yeah, I mean, so this was actually a project that my graduate assistant worked on. So he went and it was actually his GoPro. So it was his personal GoPro. I was like, all right, let's use it. Like, let's just see. And a lot of what we do is testing things out to see how they do, right? So he went out and I was like, I want to see all of Felician's like top 10 things that you would want to see in a school, right? So, and I want it to be in the style of a student. Like I want it to be like you're looking through the eyes of a golden falcon, right? So first it started off in the dorms. Then you see all the professors. Then you see how close we are to New York City and the American dream. So it was cool because my student Alexa, he took the GoPro everywhere with him. He would go to the city on the weekends and grab clips, just 3 little clips that he wanted while he was out. And we actually put them in the video. And then they would go to the different professors, and the professors get excited when they see us. They're like, oh no, they're coming, but they're excited.
Yeah, that's
so good. Yeah, so they wanted to participate and they wanted to be in this video.
Cool. I love that. And I like that, one of the things I love about short form video is you can test a lot of stuff on your socials, TikTok and Instagram and stuff. So, you could test something like a point of view. And then if you see a spike in views, then it's like, all right, let's elevate this to what we would call like a flagship video. Like we're going to make a dedicated video for this open house or whatever. And you actually have some metrics to know that, hey, this point of view stuff actually works really well.
Yeah.
So what's next for Felician's content strategy? Because you mentioned when we talked earlier that there's something about a campus radio station as a content hub.
Yeah, so marketing and communications is actually taking over the radio station. And in there, I want to start a podcast for Felician. We already have like kind of a name and we were like kind of brainstorming ideas of different things. We want to put a backdrop in there. But we also want to have student volunteers. And we worked with this company called Campus Reel. And we paid them, they paid the students to give us content. So it was, I don't know if you're familiar with Campus Reel.
Yeah, very familiar. They have a great business model. I have a lot of, I think it's really impressive what they do. Like that whole model of equipping the students to get the content for you. I think it's super smart.
Yeah. So I want to kind of do something like that as with student volunteers and kind of do it more so not as a volunteer, but as like an internship and house them in the radio station, old radio station, but also be doing like podcasts and stuff like that.
That's cool. I like that. What would the angle be for the podcast? Like what kind of things would you talk about or what kind of guests would you have on?
We have a lot of students from so many walks of life. And I really want the podcast. The name of it is going to be like Falconvo, but it's Falcon Convo in one word. So we want it to be authentic, raw students telling their stories.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I did a episode a long time ago on the podcast with Nate Jorgensen from Miami University. They have the Major Insights podcast, and they have a format similar to that where it's just like a real student who's a host interviewing other students, just telling raw stories, talking about their major, talking about mental health, all this stuff. And they've like won awards with that. Like it's a really successful format for them.
You have to send me that. I want to take a look at that. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to checking out the Falconvo. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Falconvo.
That's what we want to
yeah.
Yes.
Cool. All right. I want to jump into some quick Q&A. So we have a content creator at Nazareth University. She asks, how do you get students to want to be filmed for man on the street videos? So I know you
Oh,
guys, you mentioned, we didn't talk much about it, but Christopher Gagliori, that video did really well. And that was just a man on the street video style where you had a student or alumni just hold a mic up to him and they asked him a question. He gave this really great response that people really resonated with. So for people that don't know, that's essentially what a man on the street video is. But how do you get
yeah.
people to be involved, or do you just go up and ask people and see what happens?
We honestly, we go up and, hey, do you want to be in a video? Really quick. It's going to be like 30 seconds. That's it. That's how we do it.
What's the response rate like? Is it pretty good?
Yeah, sure. I'll be in a video.
That's cool.
Just like that. Yeah. Yeah. We don't, I mean, and when we do get a no here and there, it's just like, okay, next person. And I've kind of trained my students to think as if you're going to get a no so that you know, okay, no worries, next person.
Yeah.
Don't beg,
We've
you know?
for sure. I mean, what's your thoughts on paying people? Like if you were like, here's $10 to be in a video, like would Felicia
Yeah,
be able to do that?
I mean, hey, if the budget's there, yeah, definitely.
Because it got me thinking about this, where I was like, because we were filming a commercial on a campus and we are trying to get some people to like be in the background of shots, and we're like, hey, you guys want to be in a commercial? And everyone's like, no. Like,
Yeah.
because they're like, well,
Yeah.
it's a little different because it's like, okay, this is going on national TV and these people just like probably just rolled out of bed
Yes.
and they're on their way to class.
That's definitely hard too, but a lot of our students we have a lot of student athletes, so sometimes they look like they're in sweatpants and sweatshirts and sometimes they don't. So on the good days, we're like, get over here, get in a video really quick.
You are slaying today. Get in this.
Yes. Yeah, literally. I love it.
All right. So next question is a content creator at University of Arizona asks, what role should AI play in creating content? And I'm curious to know, what is your stance on AI and how it gets used in your campaigns and things?
I think the more that we look at AI as if it's going to take over, I think that that's just not how we should be looking at AI. I think we should be looking at AI like it's a helpful tool and it can help us in so many different ways. There are certain things that AI can do. For example, like sometimes when I'm having a brain fart, I will literally say, give me this caption for today. I have no idea what to write. And I'll say, put it in my voice. And it will literally spit out like, hey, girly. And I'm like, wait a second. Like, how did you know that? Yeah. But you can train AI to be how you want it to be, which is so cool. And if you're not taking advantage of AI now, you're just going to not benefit from all the factors that it has, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. I think we're a long ways off from just writing in a couple sentences and having this amazing personalized, short form vertical video pop up that uses actual footage from your campus and your actual students and stuff like. I mean, I think that's pretty far fetched. Although I say that, and then probably next week they'll come out with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's great because it is so helpful. It takes me forever to write any titles for podcast episodes. So I will take the transcript from this after we hang up. I'll take the transcript from this, put it into ChatGPT and be like, give me 5 or 10 catchy titles. And then I'll usually they'll be 60% of the way there. And then I'll latch onto one and finish it.
Yeah. But, you're like, more options, please.
More options. Deep thinking.
Yes.
Well, cool. This has been a super, super fun conversation. I want people to have a chance to follow Felician on socials and see what you're up to. So where can they find you guys at?
At Felician_University on Instagram. Same for TikTok. Facebook is Felician University, and X, LinkedIn, Felician University.
Awesome. All right. Pretty straightforward. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. It was great chatting with you. Thanks for being here.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks so much for listening. 3 things I want to invite you to before you go. Number 1, if you want to know what's working right now in higher ed video, like what videos are getting tons of views, likes, comments, all that, you can get ungated access to our report, aptly named What's Working in Higher Ed Video, a comprehensive guide for higher ed Marcom leaders and content creators. So check it out at unveiled.tv/higheredvideo, and you might want to bookmark it because it's designed to be a resource for you that you can keep referring back to for inspiration. Number 2, reminder to sign up for my free newsletter all about content creation and strategy at unveiled.tv/newsletter. And number 3, follow me on LinkedIn. If you're searching for me, my name is John Azzoni. It's spelled Johnazoni. I'm on there all day, every day, for better or for worse, posting regular content and engaging with folks like you. So I'd love to connect with you on there. And with that, we'll catch you on the next episode of the Higher Ed Storytelling University podcast. And as always, I am cheering you on. Okay, bye.